Hello. Hi, Harold.
Hi, Mario.
I thought you were flying already.
No, not till Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not flying yet. Does Ernie say he's going to give the Daf while he's traveling?
Where is he going?
He's going to Portugal.
Who, Ernie?
Yeah, he's on the same trip as me. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know.
yeah. So I don't know what he I guess he didn't discuss his plans with you.
No.
Oh,
He will let me know 5 minutes before this.
You know, you're right. Oh, yeah. One more thing, Mario. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
right. Like so typical.
Yeah, but the thing is, Portugal is 9 hours, I think.
I think you're right. Yeah. So that's going to be a problem
Yeah.
unless he tapes it and just sends a tape, downloads the tape.
He can't.
Oh, he can't. He can't put it up on YouTube himself.
No.
Oh.
He has to convert it.
Okay.
No, the 45-minute share is like 130 megabytes.
It's huge,
So,
right?
Yeah, he cannot even send it.
Yeah, I don't know what he
So,
plans.
He plans probably to have the shiurim at 9 p.m. LA time. So for him, it's 6 in the morning.
Oh, it's 8 hours. I just looked it up. It's 8 hours.
Oh, 8 words
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, because not going to work.
Oh, that's true because it's south, very much south.
Right.
going
It's
to?
south and west. It's like the same as England, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you going to Lisbon?
We're going all over Portugal. Again, we're starting in Lisbon, but I don't know where else.
Oh,
Wherever they take me.
Oh, it's an organized tour?
Yeah, it's a group from Canada. I went with them to Morocco before. So they're very good. Yeah, they have a good speaker, a guy who's knowledgeable in history. Yeah, Ernie's gonna have a field day. He's gonna ask a million questions.
I'm sure.
And he already knows the answers, so that's not fair.
I started to read that. I think I mentioned to you the origins of in the 15th century, the Inquisition. The origins of it.
Oh, yes, that's what we're going to be learning. Yes.
But the book is 1,100 pages. I've read 75 or 76 because you cannot lay in the bed with it. You have to sit down because it's not a novel. It's
very all factual.
Yes, it's Bibi Netanyahu's father.
Oh. Yeah, he was a scholar. I didn't know he wrote that book. Okay.
Yeah.
1,100 pages. Wow.
Ernie.
Yes.
What are your plans for next week?
I would like to teach.
It's 8-hour difference.
Right. So let me see. If let's see. 6 o'clock in the morning in Portugal would be
10 p.m.
10 p.m. That might be early for us. Although on the other hand, we may be up and running at 7 o'clock. Now, if we do it at, let's say, 9 o'clock at night, so that would be like, let's see, that's 1
p.m.
It's like noontime.
Yeah, 1 p.m.
I don't think you have too many takers.
Say it again?
You won't have too many takers at 1 p.m.
Now, 8 a.m., like we sometimes did, 8 a.m. would be 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
So we'll have to see what our schedule's like. We'll have to see when we arrive. They'll have an itinerary for us, and we'll have to see. Worst comes to worst, I may teach it to the guys there, and it'll be put on tape. I mean, I'll Zoom it. I'll Zoom record it and send it to you.
You cannot send it
Why not?
because
Very
the
big
files
file.
are so big. The files, and a 45 minutes file is like 150 megabytes.
Okay,
There's
so
no email you can send.
email. No, by Zoom. By Zoom.
No, but the thing is, if you do the share, you can be a host, so you record it, and I'll get the message that there's a recording, and that's
Yeah.
it.
That's what I'm saying. I would record it, and then you guys do it by tape. So you keep up with every day by listening to it.
Okay, but you have to Zoom. You have to go into Zoom.
Well, I go into Zoom.
Yeah, but during the trip, I mean.
I'm saying I go like tonight. I went into Zoom.
Yes.
Well, okay. So that's what we'll try to do. And same thing on the.
Okay.
We'll talk tonight to the Tzorba guys and see what they want to do. Time-wise. Okay, we're on Vav Amud Aleph. Is the halacha like Rabbi Yehuda, halacha Rab Shimon? So, B'bei Rav Amri, Rab Shari, Rab permitted to make a chabura on Shabbos because it's a Dover Shem Miskavein, Ushmuel Osar, and Shmuel prohibited. B'nardo Amri, Rav Osar, Shmuel Shari. In Nardo, it was vice versa. Each Rav in their neighborhood were Mako. Rav Shari, is it true that Rav permitted to have relations first time Friday night? If you had a barrel of wine and the barrel of wine had a hole in it, so they would take like this shmata and stuff it in there to prevent it from leaking. Asr lahaduka b'yom tova. You cannot tighten it in there on Yontiv because you're going to end up squeezing. So schita is asr on Shabbos and Yontiv. Now your kavana is not that you want to squeeze the thing; is the kavana is that you want to prevent the fluid from leaking out. Now. So Davar Shem Miskave, and we know Reb Shimon permits, but Ba'ahu Afilu Reb Shimon Moide. For example, if you do an act where you know 100% the consequential act is going to occur, like you cut off a chicken's head because you want its blood. Oh, I don't want to kill the chicken. I just want its blood. Well, you know for sure it's going to get killed. So Reb Shimon is Moide, the Abaye v'Rabbi Dorat Havayu. Moide Rab Shimon b'psik reisha v'lo yomus. Rab Shimon is moide that a psik reisha, something that happens automatically, will not be permitted. So, how can Rav permit? Rav Chia Barashi Rav Alochik Rabbi Yehuda. By Mlocha Shein, that if you're not miskavein, it's osir. Rav Chanan bar Ami Omer Shmuel Aloch Rab Shimon. Rav Chia bar Avi Masi Lo B'Lo Gavri. He learned it without a name. That Rav Amar Halach Rab Yehuda Davar Shem Miskavin is Aser. Ushmuel Halach Rab Shimon Davar Shem Miskavin is Mutter. So Rav clearly holds like Rab Yehuda. How could he be matir to have a basula have relations on the first time on Shabbos? Lo'ilam Rav Rab Yehuda really Rav does hold like Rab Yehuda. Now we had a debate yesterday. Is the blood like in a dam behind a wall? It's not in the kitchen. When you open up the Pesach, the blood flows. Therefore, all you're doing is making a Pesach, and mekalkel hu eitzel Pesach. The Pesach is a damaging type of Pesach. And therefore, Rav Yehuda permits that. According to the approach where the blood is not sequestered behind a wall, but rather it's in the tissue, and you have to make a wound in the tissue to get the blood. Well, it's mekakel b'chaburahu, and Rabbi Yehuda will be matir that type of chabura as well, because it's a kilkul. Masrif Rav Chizda. Tinoika shlo hagi zman liros. You have a girl who's young enough, she's not seeing her period. Venices and her father married her off. Father's allowed to marry a young girl off. Now, we give her 4 opportunities of having relations, and even if she sees blood for those 4 days, we don't assume that it's needed blood, but we assume it's blood coming from the hymen. And dam besulim, blood coming from the hymen, does not prohibit the husband having relations with her. So noisin l'arba leilas. Beis Hillel goes even further. Ad shetechia maka. It might even go on for 2 weeks until the wound heals, because it'll bleed until the wound heals. That's all in cases where she is not of an age to see her period. Years mana liros, but let's say she's of an age where she's already become a nida. She's 12 years old, let's say, Venices, she gets married. So now you sometimes have to worry that some of the blood that's going to be seen might be dam nida. So Beis Shammai Omrim Noisen L'Layli Rishon. We only give her the first night. Then any more blood, we have to assume that it's needed blood, and they would have to separate. Beis Hillel Omrim Ad Motzei Shabbos Arba Leilas. Right? If they get married Wednesday night up until Motzei Shabbos, it's 4 nights. And we assume that the blood during those 4 nights are coming from the hymen.
Why can't we say that an adult, that if we know it's not her veset, that it's not dam nida, but it's from dam?
Because people, even who have a veset, will sometimes bleed not in their veset, and they have no hargosha, and bleeding or the hargosha is being masked by the act of intercourse. So we have to worry about that. Now, my lab the ilo ball, motzi bol afilu b'Shabbos, comes out the 4 days from Wednesday to Motzi Shabbos includes Friday night. So it seems we're not choishesh that the act of be'ila Friday night is making a chabura. The 4 nights, Wednesday, Thursday, up to Motzi Shabbos, doesn't include Friday night. What do you mean? You said Wednesday to Motzi Shabbos, that's 4 nights. Amar Kesubos. If he had complete relations with the wife prior to Shabbos, so then on Friday night there's not going to be a problem making a chabura. So Ikif Shabbat my kamashban, of course. So what's the chiddush? Kamashban to shoyle mivul b'Shabbos. That it's still permitted to have relations Friday night. Kiddush Shmuel, Damar Shmuel, Pirtzat Chuka Mutar Likanis b'Shabbos. That means they've had relations before, but let's say it's a very narrow introitus. You're still permitted to have relations, even though there might be some fragments remaining. We don't aser Friday night. Aval Bisha Masher Tzroris. Mazur Rav Yosef. Chosen, a newlywed groom, Potter Mikriya Shema Laila Rishon on Motzei Shabbos. He has to do Be'ilas Mitzvah, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. So he's Potter from Kriya Shema. Imlo Asa Maisa. If he had not, that means once he does Be'ila, he has nothing to worry about anymore. So of course he's Chayiv Kriya Shema. But if he has not, he's potter Kriya Shema. Now, my love, the Torrid, the boy Mivul, he's worried about Be'ilah. And you see that he's potter including Friday night. So you see it's permitted to have relations Friday night. Normally about law, the Torah de law boil. He's worried about the fact that he has not had relations yet. And maybe he's worried he didn't do it yet. That worry potters him from Kriya Shema. So the Gemara says, what do you mean? Amalei Rava Mishum Tir de Potter. Because a guy has worries on his mind, he's potter from Kriya Shema, Me'ata. Tovas Finos Bayam. Person has all sorts of goods on a boat, and they're sinking in the sea, and he's got financial headache. Al-Khanami the potter? What, is such an individual potter from Kriya Shema? Of course not. However, it says the Gemara, V'chitei al-Khanami, maybe in a Khanami, person would be potter. V'amar Rav Ava bar Zavda, Rav Avel, Chayiv, b'chol ha-mitzvahs ha'mos b'Torah. An Avel doing Shiva is Chayiv. All, including Kriya Shema, chutz min ha-tefillin, should never been pair, and there's no greater worry than somebody who's an Avel. This issue is a machlokes Tanai. The Tana Chada, one Tana holds him lo yasa ma'aser berishon. If he didn't have Be'ilah the first night, potter off b'sheni. B'sheni potter off b'shlishi, which is Erev Shabbos. The tiny Yidich Rishon v'Sheni Potter Shlishi Chayev. He'd be Chayev Shabbos because it's also for him to have relations Friday night. So therefore he's not even worried about it. So perhaps there's a machlokes Tanam regarding this issue. However, Abaya Omar Hosam Nami B'tir de Pligi. No, they're arguing this concept of whether somebody who has worry is parted from Kriya Shema. Everybody holds, perhaps all the Tanaim hold that you're not allowed to have relations Friday night. But this type of worry that maybe he's not gonna, that he hasn't done Be'ilah in the past, is that a tirda of mitzvah or not? V'hani tanoi kahani tanoi. It's the same machlekes as the following, the Tanya. HaKoines is apsula lo yivo b'tchila b'Shabbos. Person who's marrying a basula should not get married, should not have relations Friday night, first time. Chachamim matirim. So clearly, there's a machlokes regarding this issue. Man chachamim. Amar Rav Rab Shimoni. Amar Davar Shem is kavin mutter. You're not having kavana to make a chabur. You're having kavana to have be'ilah. Amar le'abai v'hamoid Rab Shimon b'psik reishav lo yamos. But we said, if we know for sure it's going to happen, even Rab Shimon is moide. It's not like these Babylonians who were not expert at having intercourse. That there were people who could, the first time, make sure that the hymen was broken, or they would do it in a way that it would not break. So it's not necessarily automatic that you're going to have bleeding. Yesh pekin b'ataya. That they can have intercourse without damaging the hamen. Im kain torid lama. So what's he worried about? If he's expert without doing hotzi dam, what was this big worry that he was having? That he's going to be parted from Kriya Shema. L'she'eino baki. We're talking about somebody who's not expert. So the Gemara says, Yoimru Baki Mutter. So why didn't they differentiate and say an intercourse expert is Mutter? Shena Baki Yosser. Says the Gemara, Rov Bikine. Most are expert. It's Rov. Now, the groomsmen would wait around to make sure that after the night of relations that she indeed was a basula. Otherwise, they help him go to Beis Din. Now, if we have experts that are going to have intercourse without bleeding, so why Shushvin in Lama, Mapa Lama? Also, they used to have a special towel to show that there was blood. What do we need this for? If we're saying most men could have relations and not cause bleeding. Well, maybe there would be blood. And without these things, there would be loss. So you have to prepare. Boy Scout, you got to be prepared. You have an abscess on your skin, and you drain it. You make a hole in it so the pus can come out. You do it on Shabbos. You did it in a way to keep the opening open. So you made an opening, and therefore it's like you built something. And therefore chayiv, you be chayiv chatas. If the point of making the hole in the abscess was to drain the pus, you didn't care whether it stayed open or not, potter. Potter here means mutar l'chatchila. So why is there a difference then to this having relations with a basula on Shabbos versus making this opening in the abscess cavity? Tomorrow we'll learn at 8 o'clock. I will call in for the Torba tonight at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay?